Hey everyone.
Help, my mic is unmuted. Hey
Hey
everyone,
everyone,
how's it
it
going?
going?
Tonight I'm going to be doing the push to talk episode on my own as Monya cannot make it to the stream. So I made a decision to do my own topic on the new Netflix film that came out this week called Bandersnatch. So just a warning before I start this, there will be spoilers throughout me talking about this because I'm going to be going through. You can hear me twice. Why can you hear me twice? I put myself on
twice. That's right. Okay. It was fine originally. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the possible endings that are known to this film. There are 5 in total. 5 main endings. There are several other endings that kind of like stem off each other. So they're very similar, but there are 5 main things now. 5 main endings. So basically, we're gonna just go through all of that, and things are gonna be great. So I've just like got some images up on this side of the just little bits and bobs from Bandersnatch itself. Just so if you haven't seen it, then I recommend that you see it because my mind was just absolutely blown when I was watching it because they're just I don't know, it just kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the entire time, and it just reminded me of when I was younger. I used to read like Goosebumps books, and they used to like have the options of like turn to this page if you're gonna pick this, this, or this, and then you'd have to like scroll through it. But yeah, it was just like such a sort of nostalgic feeling, and it's really fresh as well because obviously Netflix is kind of interactive, and it's the best streaming website in my opinion. So yeah, I think the fact that they've done this selective like ending and interact, they're making the audience interact and like creating your own story, even though yeah, I just thought it was such a great refreshing idea, something new on the market, and I can imagine that there will be more in the future. And the fact that it's a Black Mirror episode, I say it's an episode because all their episodes essentially like films, but the fact that I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote Black Mirror, but yeah, he's just a fantastic person, and anything that he writes always blows my mind. It's always fantastic. So the first ending we're going to talk about is this is covering over the chat. The Netflix ending. So I've got like notes here that I've written because this is pretty intense. Yeah, I did get the Netflix ending Plumvus. That's what we're going to be talking about first. So there are choices that you make throughout this that lead up to the Netflix ending. I didn't put down the exact choices that you have to make for this because I feel like you should be making your own choices if you're doing this. I don't want you to just pick everything that I've done. But Stefan talks about not being in control of his actions. There's a scene, it's in one of the pictures where you choose like Netflix or the little logo. The little symbols, kind of like the routing thing. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, you got those 2 endings, and he like looks up and he asks who's there, and so you click the Netflix option, and then he has coding. Well, he's coding Bandersnatch on his little computer in front of him, and Netflix shows up, and then he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And then, as the viewer, yeah, you'd basically he knows that somebody's in control of what he's doing, and then you're talking to him through this coding, saying that you're Netflix, you're from the 21st century, and you're watching him and you're selecting everything that he does, and it kind of makes him go a little bit batshit crazy. So yeah, later, well, just after this scene, he goes to speak to his therapist about it and just says like, I feel like I'm not in control of myself. And she's like, yeah, that's great. It's great that you know that you're not in control of yourself. What can we do to help it? And he was saying that he's been controlled by viewers of a streaming website from the 21st century. And her response was, if you were in a TV show, wouldn't your life be a little bit more interesting than what you're doing right now? And then he was just like, yeah. But yeah. And then she's like, and there's the option of like starting a fight or like jumping out of the window. So like the best ending you can get is with just breaking out into the fight. Because yeah, the options are either yeah or fuck yeah to make it more interesting. You say fuck yeah, and then you end up in a fight with your therapist and your dad, and then you end up kicking your dad in the balls. And yeah, it's just like a funny ending, and it just ends up with the rolling credits, and that's that one ending then. But there's no Bandersnatch game because it just turns into a bit of a comedy instead. The second ending type that we have then is when he goes to jail. Um, in this ending, Stefan, as that's the name of the guy in the show, he has bludgeoned his father with an ashtray that's nearby. He kind of in this scenario you have to kind of like talk, well, kind of like break your relationship with your father throughout the film. Um, this is where Stefan he like loses his sanity because he feels like his dad is like playing mind control games with him, and and that his father put him inside of a simulation when he was younger and made out that his mother had died and just embedded it into his brain like it was a sort of movie set. But yeah, he like lived in this little room and his dad was doing like experiments on him and stuff like that then. So it's kind of like pretty weird that he managed to convince his brain to think like that. And then he's all because he has this sort of theory. He believes his father's like hiding things from him, like with the fake stories about his mum. And then he kind of just like flips out on his dad. So as you can see in the image, just the side now, it says "kill dad" or "back off," like because Stefan's not in control of his own sort of actions. He's or we're acting on his behalf. That's if you choose yeah, if you choose the symbol, yeah, because the symbol this is what I was going to go into as well. Symbols like the path. It might come up on an image on the side. If not, it's already come up. But the guy who wrote the original Bandersnatch story actually murdered. I can't remember if it was just his girlfriend or whether it was his wife. But he murdered his wife while he was making this book, and he painted these symbols. I couldn't find an image of it to pop it on the stream, but he painted these symbols on the wall with her blood, basically, and it was just kind of, and I will get into this later again. It's just like a time loop of the same thing happening over again. So when you do actually lash out and kill your father, there are like two options given to you, which they both result in getting you to jail, but they both have two different outcomes. Whereas if you bury the body, there's like a dog that starts digging up the body, it gets found, and then your game gets given 2.5 stars out of 5, if I remember correctly. Hey, Sad Trash, nice to see you in chat. Thanks everyone for popping by as well today. It's kind of nervous doing this whole talk on my own. I gotta talk a lot and not have much response back. Usually it's a little debate between two of us, but yeah, this will be fine. So that's what happens if you bury the body. And then if you chop up the body, you get away with it. For a short while anyway. The game gets 5 stars. So you get 5 out of 5 stars. It's like top of the market. Everyone's paying £6.99 for this little pixelated game with all these paths and all these choices you can make. And it's like a revolutionary game because you get to pick your story. Essentially like what this Netflix film has done for us, like where we have to pick the story, we have to interact and get involved with it. So yeah, I'm covering my box and I can't see what was on my alert box. I was meant to change this last time. So I think I had a new follow. Thank you for that. I will check now. Bear with me a moment. Don't want to ignore you people. Yes, F11FF has followed me. Thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. So then the next one I didn't want to go into too much because it was very similar to the Netflix one where you break out into the fight at the end, but instead of going into the fight, you jump out of the window and then somebody just shouts cut, and then it just reveals that it's actually just a whole film set. And basically, even though it's a recording of this film, it basically just reveals that it is a film that's being made rather than somebody's actual life, like, like a film would interpret itself. It's just a film of a film, essentially. Um, Next one is where Stefan actually dies. So, one of the timelines, Stefan dies in the film. Um, so with this one, you have to make certain choices in order to get to that stage. So you have to get him to go back to his childhood, and then you will find the teddy that his father took from him, which delayed his mum getting onto the train. And such. I'll go through that story with his mother very shortly. If I believe there wasn't like an appropriate toy for a little boy, he had to be like manly or very boyish boy. Needed to play with his trucks and his cars and all his bikes, whatever. So the night prior to Stefan's mother's death, before she was on the train that derailed, his parents are arguing about the rabbit, and they were just having a general argument just outside his bedroom door, and he heard everything, made him a little bit upset. So the choices to get to this ending, at the beginning of the film, you sat with your therapist, and then your therapist asks like, "What's going on?" and you say, and then you just say that you're thinking about things, and then you say you want to talk about your mum. When you start talking about your mum, you get revealed the story of how she passed, that you'd be in a pain trying to find your rabbit, and then you didn't end up going anyway. She got on this train very late, well, the later train, and then the train derailed, resulting in her death. So you need to talk about mum, and then you need to take the drugs with Colin. And this is the sad part because when it happened, all I could think about is the fact that Colin, um, he passes. It's just his family, because he suggests that one of them has to jump off. They have to jump off this balcony, and I don't know. I panicked and I was like, what if I pick Stefan? The film's just gonna end, and I don't want that to end. But then I also like Colin's a family man. He has a child. He has a girlfriend. But I clicked Colin's jump off, and that was the next part of the story. And then later on, you need to get the rabbit from your dad because you go back in time as a child. And toy is the passcode. There's like a safe that comes up that of all these hidden things that your dad has from you, and every time you go to this, a different thing will come from the bottom. So you have like pack. I think there was packs as well, and then toy was another one that came up. There might have been another option, but I can't remember off the top of my head because I watched it just at about maybe a week ago. No, coming up to a week ago. Not even, yeah, just about a week ago I watched it. So I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened. But yeah, you go back in time, and that you chose Stefan to die first. Yeah, yeah. I chose Colin to die because I was like, no, I don't want Stefan. I don't want Stefan to go because it's just gonna end the story. So that's when you go back in time as a child, and then you get your rabbit and you put it under your bed. So then when you go to get the train the next day, remember you do end up still getting the late one because you're trying to find your teddy. So you miss the 8:30 train, you take the 8:45, and that, yeah. So he boards the train with his mother, and he dies in that scenario because time essentially goes back into the real world, and from what if you look at like the clothing that they're wearing in the first therapy session, it's exactly the same clothing what they wear in the end where Stefan has died in the chair. So you will see Dr. Hayes and she'll be like, he just closes his eyes for a moment, and he just can't open them up again. He hasn't opened them up again. His father's already run into the room. There are paramedics on him trying to get him to be alive again, but he's like essentially almost like died in his sleep. But it was like during the therapy session, whether he like fell asleep to like talk about his mum. I think that's where that sort of comes from. He started talking about his mum, and then he imagined how his life would be, and he just kept dreaming of all these like different scenarios, and then ended up just dying in his sleep. And yeah, so the last and fifth scenario is about the time loop. So the time loop was a really, really, really interesting one. So this is along the lines where Stefan believes that somebody's watching him. So you got that symbol that's on the sign up there. And one thing I did notice as soon as I watched this, that logo I have seen somewhere else before, and I knew where I'd seen it after I had a little thought. If you've watched all of the rest of the Black Mirror series, there is an episode called White Bear. So on White Bear, I will go into that actually after this, but that symbol's from White Bear. And that symbol was representing the paths that would come off one lever. So you make one choice, and then you have the option of this choice and then this choice. And then that's what he kept seeing. He kept seeing all these random paths, and that is what also killed the guy. Well, that's also what made the original author kill his partner. So there's this sign that's frequent, and you can see it on the front of the cover of the Bandersnatch book, but it's upside down. So it's almost like that symbol. I think that's the Easter egg. I haven't looked into the Easter egg yet, because I'm probably going to watch it again, because there's a couple scenarios I know that I didn't play out that I want to play out. Yeah. What was next? So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the symbol was painted all over the original author's walls with his partner's blood. So you have to kill your father. Then, if you've watched this already several times, it's like having to do the same thing over and over again. And there was one scenario which happened to myself. I don't know if it's happened to many other people. But Colin came to check on Stefan and see how he was, because he had an extended deadline on Bandersnatch and he still didn't deliver on the day. So I can't remember the name of the boss, but he was a little bit concerned and said, "You need to go and see him and see what he's up to, see if he might need your help, because it's a big game that he's trying to release." So Colin goes over to help out Stefan, just kind of busts through his door and completely misses the fact that Stefan's dad is like dead on the floor, because he was trying to drag him out to the garden to like sort of bury him, or he was about to start chopping him up. I can't remember which option I had made, but yeah. So Colin goes upstairs and then he asks, "What's going on? Like, do you need help?" And there's like a part where you could admit that you killed your father and you have a knife in your hand, and then the next option was to either kill Colin or let him go. So on my playthrough, I let him go, because I was like, this man can't die. I already feel guilty for making him jump off the balcony. I can't let him die again. So that resulted in Colin reporting me to Stefan to the police. And yeah, so Stefan then gets locked up, and the game is, if I remember correctly, it was released, but it was at 2.5 stars then. So it wasn't at the best potential, and I think he was in prison and he just kind of went a bit, like, felt a little bit shit about it, which, you know, he worked so hard on it, but he made so many bad decisions on the way to getting there. So then in the future, the history sort of like repeats itself. There's a lady in the future who wants to recreate this game, but in a more modern effect. So she is coding. You'll see that's her on the image there. She is trying to recreate it, and she ends up in the same sort of situation that Stefan was, where she starts seeing the paths, and she feels like something is like under control, and well, something is trying to control her, take over her actions. So at this point, I was like, nope, this is just going to loop over and over and over, and I don't want to be dealing with this. So I chose to spill the tea all over the keyboard. So that just ended that scenario, and then the credits rolled. So those are the 5 main endings of Bandersnatch. So as I said, I was going to go into White Bear. Just got some. I'll have a look at the chat. So Plumbus, you chose to kill Colin. So what did that result in for you? Did you get caught immediately? I imagine maybe his girlfriend came over. I know there's a scenario where Colin's girlfriend would come over and sort of ask what's going on, but I don't know where that stands. I don't know what scenario I'd have to play through, which is why I want to watch it again and see if I can get Colin's girlfriend to run over to the house and see what's going on. Hi Christian, thanks for coming into the stream. Can you ask me one question? Yeah, fire away. Fire away what you want to ask of me. Gonna take a drink of water, have a little breather. Has everybody else who's watching the stream already watched Bandersnatch? Because if you haven't, you should. If you haven't got Netflix, you should probably get it. So, with White Bear, it was a logo that was placed in front of this lady, this one here. She was she kind of wakes up in a chair, and then there's this TV in front of her with this same logo on it. And funnily enough, she murdered a bunch of people. Well, but not a bunch of people. My bad. She stole a child, and I think, if I remember correctly, the child died, and she was basically put in a simulation where people were constantly chasing her, but all they would do, instead of helping her, there was people trying to kill her, and they would just stand there with their phones like that, just like constantly like recording her, following every shit she does. She walks. People like shotguns, people with machetes, like chasing after, trying to kill her. And there's just this one person who's like willing to help her out, but then everyone else is just like this with their phones, and there's like people attacking them, like throwing stuff at them, but they're all just like sat there, like recording. But turns out that's a simulation, and people are paying for this woman to get tortured. So that's where I think the it sort of like links in maybe with the simulation of the killer. I don't know. There might be more to it, but it's a nice little. I that's why I think that might be the Easter egg. There's sort of like a lot of information that could be unleashed on that, and I would like to look into it a little bit more. But it's just finding the time to do it. I might even have a go tonight because I'm getting myself riled up like talking about it. So if some of you haven't watched it, so yeah, some of you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It takes just over an hour to get through itself. So I mean, if you have the time, then yeah, watch it. If you haven't watched any of the Black Mirror series, then I recommend that you should watch it. I say it's a series, just a bunch of like hour long, maybe hour and a half clips, and they're all just got like they all got sort of meaning. Some it's kind of about like I suppose like the world that we live in now and sort of what the future could look like. It's really interesting. The guy's a really good writer, and all of his say films have just always blown my mind completely. What am I reading here? Doing a challenge with a friend. The challenge is that we must find a girl on Twitch to pull a leather denim jacket on. What? What do you mean? Like pull it on? Okay. Do you mean like put it on, like put a jacket on? Because that's kind of what I'm getting from that. Okay. So, before I move on to follower forums, I wanted to go over the choices that I made. Yes, I do have a jacket that is not real leather. but I do have a jacket that I could wear, I suppose, but it's pretty warm, so I don't really want to. The choices that I made in this, it's kind of hard to say because I need the timeline, which I was meant to get up actually. I don't know if there's a way that I can get it up. Right, let me just bear with me. I will do my best to try and find it. Got the image here, but I would kind of like to zoom in and show you guys the whole sort of timeline. Can I put my leather jacket on? I don't really want to. I don't really want to move from my chair. Um, I think I've got this. I think I've got this. Just bear with me. Just the one thing that I forgot. Nope, not working. Not working. Unexpected bet. Yeah. Yeah, let me just sort out this thing that I need to do in order for you to understand the timeline that I'm looking at, and then we will go through that. Okay, sorry, bear with me. I'm gonna pop this just here, but I will zoom in so we can see everything. We'll go right from the beginning. So, Bandersnatch. Oh my god. Oh, somebody else. Okay. Thought you asked if I was a girl. Yes, I am a girl. Yeah, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. And then you've got the introduction, the breakdown of how it all works and such then. And say, do you understand? Yes, I understand. So the film begins 8:13, 9th of July, 1984. And then you get the option of what do you want for breakfast? What do you want for breakfast? So I chose Frosties. Frosties is the best breakfast. If you vote with Sugar Puffs, I don't want to know. Sugar Puffs are horrible. Don't ever, ever talk to me about Sugar Puffs. Yeah, so then the next one was music. Which music do you want to play? I mean, okay, I didn't do this. I didn't pick now too. I picked the Thompson twins. So you meet Colin and you pitch the Bandersnatch. And then originally, the offer I accepted. The game was rushed and it got a 0 out of 5 stars. And then it puts you back again, and then you have to play. And then you just press refuse, and then nothing's perfect as a game reviewer visits therapist. And then you talk about mum. Oh, apparently you're eventually forced to if you don't. So your childhood story, and you talk about your confiscated rabbit. Are you guys able to see this? If not, I will just make it a little bit bigger on my stream. And then she says, "Are you coming or not?" And then she says, "No." You have to say no because it's the only one. It's the only option you can pick. And that's what I said about the train that gets derailed, and then you get cut to the music store. So when you get cut to the music store, it's where after you have a conversation with Colin, and he says, what inspires you? Like what music do you listen to?" And then this is where he recommends sort of music that he would like that he would listen to get his brain going, because he's like a massive coder and one of the biggest game makers in that time and space. What am I missing in my chat now about a leather jacket? I don't really want to be putting on a leather jacket. Sorry, man. It's really warm in my room. So yeah, game development montage with final soundtrack. Then you got your anger at dad. So I thought, well, if I throw T over the computer, this film's gonna be over. So I'm just gonna shout at my dad. Shout at dad, and then he instantly goes, sorry. And then you're taken to the therapist. Well, dad says, oh, we're going out for food, and that's final, that's it. And then he ends up actually taking you to a therapist, which is a little bit snaky. You know, that's not cool. You don't do that. You don't do that stuff. Um, then you got the action. So do you go to your doctor, like your dad is snaking you, or do you follow Colin because Colin happens to be popping by? So I chose to follow Colin. And then you end up in Colin's house, and then he says, do you want to take the drug? Oh my god, he actually spikes you if you don't. That's bad. I just put yes, free up your mind, get some inspiration, and crack on with your game. And as Plumber said before, in this time where you take the drug, he actually explains everything to you that happens in the film, which I didn't know. I'm going to go back over and watch that. Then later on, Colin, as I mentioned before, he says, one of us has to jump off the balcony. Which one of us is it going to be? And then that's where I chose Colin. I was like, no, if I do Stefan, the film's going to end. I don't want to keep going with this story. It's got to be great. Okay, and then after that, you get given pills. There is more options in this than just throw them away. There was also flush them, but I imagine that is the same thing. But when I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, if you just throw them in the bin, because I watched it with my friends. If you just throw them away, is your dad gonna find them? Are you gonna like get into trouble for it, etc., etc.? Yeah, apparently it all goes the same way. Delivery day, Colin gives Doko about Jerome. Oh, right. That is the day that you're meant to be given in the game. It's not finished. You're having major problems because you added it. Because I keep saying you, it's because it feels like you're Stefan because you're making his choices. So you express your anger. So you hit the desk or you destroy the computer. And I think I actually pressed destroy computer, which put it in a game over. But then I went back and then we hit the desk. Realization of reality, action. So this is where I believe I picked up the book. And then I found the safe and then the password I put in pack. Because whilst you're high on I'm pretty sure it's acid that he offers you, unless that's another TV show I've watched recently with that joke. But anyway, he offers you the drug, and then he talks about Pac-Man and how the name Pac-Man is actually meaning program and control man. And he says how Pac-Man is like trying to escape from this game. He's not actually playing it, but then when he escapes the room, so say like the valve this way, he just comes back through on the other side and he's just trapped in this room trying to survive. So yeah, I put pack as the code then. Yeah, this is spoilers, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, this is spoilers, and I'm going through the entire timeline of what I did. Yeah, so you find the patient files, and that's where you're made to be in a simulation, and your dad is just planting stories into your head of like what's going on, how's basically just making up these whole bunch of lies about your life and believing that you're living one way but you're actually not. And then this is where you are on your computer, and then you ask for somebody to give you a sign. You scream out, give you a sign, and then you got this white bear. Yeah, see, it's white bear. I haven't seen this timeline before. I'm just going through it now. But white bear is that funky logo with the branches. And that's why I was like, white bear. I got so happy when I realized that it was white bear. So you kill dad and you try and call the therapist. So what's the number? We put in the wrong number. If given option regarding body, I think this is what happens. Actually, the pathways seem to change, and you meet therapist and explains game only as illusion of free will. No, this wasn't my ending. My ending was, so I got a different ending that's on this timeline. So we typed in the wrong number, and he ended up not calling the doctor. I think he cut up the body. No, he buried the body, and then he was found out by the dog um, that kind of the dog that he had murdered his dad. Then he went into jail, and the game was released to like 2.5 stars. Then, so yeah, Vince, we're talking about the movie called Bandersnatch. I put it in the title just in case anybody joins in late, but it's the film on Netflix where you get to make the choices of the ending, and there are several endings which I have been through. There are 5 main ones. So after that, then it gave me the action to it gave me the action, it gave me the opportunity to go back and pick out the sign again. So I picked White Bear, and then we killed Dad. We got the right number. No, we didn't call therapist though. Yeah, I didn't get this dial-up sound on the bus. This is where there are so many timelines. There are so many timelines in this film, and there are things that people haven't even seen yet. So the next scenario, we put the white bear symbol. We killed the dad. We chopped up the body, and the Bandersnatch got a 2.5 star review, and that's where I got the Bandersnatch time loop. Then I don't know where it is on this. Um, whoa. Try to see if I can find it. It's not on here. Not on here. Yeah, this bit isn't on here. So the Bandersnatch time loop starts playing over that lady that we saw before, which is this one. Get rid of that a sec. These bunch of images, you'll see the lady pop up now. Yeah, where she ended up recreating Bandersnatch itself. I think I've got some other things still and choices. Here we go. So that lady there, she ends up becoming in the same scenario that Stefan was, and then I threw the tea of the computer, and that's when I got an ending. And then it went back again, where I tried to bury Dad, and it's hard to try and find which. I think maybe this is an option we went through, but Colin comes over, and you admit to Colin about taking. Oh, you admit to Colin about killing your dad, and then I let him go, and then I resulted in going into jail. I can't remember if the game was released or not. It might have got a 2.5 out of 5. The last but one I did was Netflix. So this was the Meta Netflix, which is the one I can see on the timeline straight away. So it says, "Give me a sign." Oh, that's the White Bear one I did before. Deadline possible. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. So you either choose Netflix or White Bear. You pick White Bear, and then you kill Dad. What do you do? No matter, I think you bury the body, and then yeah, that's when Colin comes in to help Stefan. Stefan confesses to killing Dad. Action, kill him, let him go. Tuckersoft fails. Yeah, so that one, the whole thing fails because there's a whole news article, there's a whole news story on the fact that the person who was making a game for Bandersnatch, Tuckersoft, was a mass murderer, and then Colin was on TV, and then he said something that he shouldn't have on TV, and then he was arrested immediately. Yeah. So yeah, I selected the deadline was possible. Give me a sign. Then we did the Netflix thing. So action. So you basically tell him that you're Netflix, and then try to explain, tell him more. It tells you that you're 21st media platform, and then I didn't want to tell him anymore. I was like, that's it. That's all you need to know. Just confuse him. So stop the conversation. So you tell your dad, you take him to the therapist. The therapist says the scenario is not entertaining enough, and this is where you get to fight it. So she's like, "Do you want to shouldn't your life be more?" Why did it zoom out? shouldn't your life be more entertaining if you were in a TV show? And then Attack the Therapist who becomes Wolverine. She literally like takes this sword like out of like nowhere and starts like fighting you with it. And you're just like, so you either a fighter or you leap through the window. So I chose a fighter, and then Dad comes in and tries to choke you, and then you got the action to either karate chop Dad or you kick him in the balls, and then it ends with how's that for entertainment, you psychiatric fuck, and then it goes back down to give me a sign. So you got the chance to go through this one where you can leap through the window, and that's where it says, yeah, cut, about the fight scene. The last one is trying to figure out where it is. Figure out where it is on the timeline. This one. Yeah, so you got the action of picking up the family photo or picking up the book. So you pick up the book, you find the safe. And then this is where the password changes on that little safe thing where your dad hides things from you in that simulation. The safe unlocks and when you put toy in, and you put your toy into your bed, but you still miss that 8:30 a.m. train. And your mother asks, "Are you coming?" But this time, because you got your rabbit, you want to go, and then you say yes, and that is when you die in the chair. And I just realized I didn't have the timeline up. Yeah, so this is the last one that I played. Then was this, and that's when I was like, I think I'd been watching it for about maybe 2 hours at this point, and I was like, this is boggling my brain. I cannot do this anymore. I need to stop. So that is when I took that to a stop then. And that is all I'm going to go on with Bandersnatch, because it is such a complicated movie. And I would like for you guys to at least try to watch it yourselves, because I think it's absolutely fantastic. Does anybody have any questions on anything to do with Bandersnatch I might be able to help out with? In the meantime, I'm just going to pop up some amazing memes that I found on Bandersnatch itself, because they made me laugh quite a bit. I can also send memes. If you would like me to send memes, I will send you memes, because I have a lot of them. But they're all pretty good. They all made me laugh. I just had a little, kept seeing them every now and then. There's one that I couldn't find and I couldn't put up here. But yeah, is Netflix a planet? So that woman there was your therapist. Yeah, and this was my genuine reaction to when Colin was jumping off. And this one says, Dr. Hayes, come on, mommy's boy, fight me, I dare you. And then me immediately click and fight back. Back off, bitch. Random question time. Can you actually touch your nose or your chin with your tongue? No, I cannot. I'm not that flexible. Not at all. Nowhere near. Very far away. So if that is all, I will keep the memes up and I will bring up my follower forum thing. So this is where we have our follower forum, where every week that somebody, well, people, all of you lot, the audience, you suggest a topic for myself to talk about. So a topic I had suggested, but we've had it before, but I'm gonna brush up on it again. But yeah, we are done. We are done Bandersnatching. We are done. I will type that in the chat in case you are. We are done Bandersnatching. Yeah. Just so that is all over now. But yeah, we'll do follow forum. So basically, I was asked to talk about what it's like to be a female streamer and what I think of female streamers themselves. Also, it's Simple Jack. Well, I think we had this conversation in our Discord where we were regretting that you were regretting that I was regretting that you were regretting that we were regretting spaghetti. But yeah, let's read this. Well, I think you should take a moment and regret that you said that I would regret that you would regret that Ori would regret that I would regret that you would regret that regretting the non-regretters, because that is something that I said in that channel. Yeah. And Oreo, please don't ban it, Simple Jack. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, so what it's like to be a female streamer. I mean, I don't know what it's like to not be a female streamer. I haven't been doing it for that long. Been doing it for about 2 months now. I think we're just hit over the 2 month mark. Or might be actually coming up to 3 months. I can't remember. I started when Fallout 76 first came out though, so that's going to give you the rough amount of time I've been streaming so far. So far I've been pretty successful with it. I've been enjoying it. I've had some some comments made towards me that I didn't exactly appreciate. Kind of sexist. Not okay with that. It's not accepted on my channel. If you're gonna do that, then you can just go. I don't want any offensive chat or anything to myself or any other people who are in the chat commenting on the side. I want you guys to be protected in this stream just as much as I would like to as much as I would like to be, safe in this stream as well. And how many leather jacket requests have I had? I can put that on a list now. I've had one. I've had one request to dress myself and put myself on a leather jacket. So yeah, that's a brand new one to talk about. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to what I think of female streamers. A streamer's a streamer. I mean, if you're entertaining, I'll watch you. If you're not, then I probably won't. It's for me, it's not about gender of the person. It's more about, can I watch them? Are they fun to watch play? What are they playing as well? That also counteracts into it. Are they playing a good game? Is this something that I'm interested in? Is this something I don't want to see the story of? Because if somebody's playing something of a story that I know I want to play, I probably will not watch them. But yeah, that is what I guess I think about female streamers. If I am not going as specific into this as you would like me to, then just fire away in the comments and I'll just answer anything that I can. So with this jacket, somebody earlier said that I had to go into a girl's channel and get her to put on a leather jacket or a denim jacket, and I was like, I don't really want to get up and put a jacket on. At the end of the day, I'm in my pajamas. I don't want everyone to see my pajamas. So yeah, I've got requested to put on a leather jacket today. Very weird. Not something I expected to have. But yeah, Simple Jack, you did. I think you scared him off a little bit, or maybe you got fed up with the fact I was not popping a jacket on. But yeah, I just watch streamers who I think are entertaining. People can be stupid when they're entertainers. Yeah, as you say in the chat there, but I can't stand people with like sort of fake personalities on stream. Just be yourself. If people don't watch you, people don't watch you. If people do watch you, then that's just great. Just be yourself, relax. It's kind of what I'm doing. Just being a chill ass bitch. I didn't really get many other topic suggestions. I did have some on Instagram. I'll have a little quick look now, see if there's anything new popped on there. No, it's just all about dogs. So I'm glad that it's stuck this way. So I already have this lined up and ready to go. Just bear with me a second. I'm gonna get it up. So I was requested to oh yeah, I have a boob pillow just here. It's really comfy. It's like really good for your neck. It's like my neck pillow. It's like my travel pillow. Take it places. It's great. So yeah, on my Instagram stories, I was requested to talk about doggos and show off Shebas. Shebas was put twice. Everyone knows I love Shebas, so we're gonna. Okay, sorry. Panic over. Instagram spotted. We are Instagram spotted. My bad. Yeah, so this is my favourite Sheba page. It's called Autistic Sheep. It's just pictures of Shebas, and they're all just so adorable. I sound like I'm in a bucket. I think it's coming from my webcam.
Or let me just. I haven't used this before. Let me just add in my mic.
Mike,
This
this
should
should
work
work
better
better
now.
now. How my feet? How am I sounding? How am I spine? Am I sounding good? Am I good? Am I good? I think I'm Gucci now. I've got the right mic on. I've literally made this channel just before I started my stream. It was like a last minute thing. So I'm sorry about the bad quality there. Yeah, so it's the Autistic Sheep. It's the best page. It's just sheeps being themselves. Some of them look like really pretty, but some also look really dopey, and it's just so natural. Like you like jazz. Look at his little hat. Oh, I just get so happy. I get so happy when I see dogs. Oh, look at he's just so handsome. And I have to show you this. This is I have like a favorite page. And I will show you that. You have to see it. I can't just tell you what it is, but this is one of my favorite pages on Instagram because they're just so cute. Like, choose your weapon. What weapon would you choose? What? Because this is my weapon of choice. This bone stick right here. Oh look, it's so wholesome. They're so cute. I mean, if you guys are appreciating the doggos, that's just absolutely fantastic. Oh, a friend of yours has a Shiba. Oh, I would absolutely love to know a Shiba. I've met like Malamutes. I forgot the Samoyed. I've met Samoyed as well. But I just such a big dog person. I love dogs. Just everything about them. They're just so cute. They're so full of love. They're so dopey. They're just look at that one pose. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, I could just sit here and like these photos. Oh, look at that little. He's biting the snoot. Just sit here all day. Right, let's see if I can find one of my favorite pictures from this page. Hey, look how many there are. Sorry, I got really excited then. Look at this picture. It's so amazing. It's just... she no like the Twitter part too. Ah! Papa pasta. Okay. We're moving on to another page that I like now. This is something I only checked out earlier, so we won't go on that. But this Shiba Inu, look at this photo. It's this Shiba's birthday. So we all have to wish this Shiba a happy birthday. Wish it a happy birthday. This is the wrong way. This one's like chubby as all hell. Like, oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this wholesome dog with his little cow hat on. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just always looking like heck. The little loaf. Look, where's the dog? Where's the dog? It's all I only see loaf. I only see loaf here. Oh, it's great. Shiba's just so beautiful. Look, melt my heart. Melt my heart. Yeah, I can see that. You've already liked them all. But my favorite Shiba of all time is look, just look at it. Oh, we got a video. We got a video. I don't think it has sound. There it is. Really loud in my ears. Oh no. Oh, oh, so adorable. But I just love Shibas. I just love them so friggin' much. Look at I remember I was in a bad mood. I had a bad day. Then I saw this picture. Not on this page though, but I saw this picture and I was just like, I feel really good now and I feel Christmassy. Oh, they're so photogenic, but they're also not very photogenic at the same time. Perfect example. Uh yeah, so my favorite Shiba of all time is this dog called Ball. Well, Baltzy is a dog. Yeah, he's 7 Shiba. Um, if anybody knows, he is the Yos doggo. um, Yeah, he's just absolutely fantastic. He's just so thick. Such a big dog. He is an absolute unit, as some would say, an absolute unit. Just beautiful, thick, dopey looking, but also would steal your girl. That is a Mr. Steal Your Girl right there. Right there. But the best page of all time, okay? Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Boop my nose. So obviously it doesn't work on the computer. Oh yeah, it does. So you double tap and you boop the snoot, and then you keep booping. And every time the heart comes up, it boops the snoot. And it's just ultimate perfection. Boop the snoot. Boop the snoot. So yeah, this is one of my favorite pages because it's just so full of love. I've already liked half of these. And I just go back and I just love them. Just love all these doggos. These poor little doggos getting all these likes. Just booping the snoots. They're great. This doesn't make you happy. I don't know what will. Just don't know what will. It's just so wholesome. They're always so happy. Or they're always so dopey. Just perfect. And it's not just dogs that are on here as well. As you can see, there are cats. There's some goats on here. There's some pigs. Yeah, it's just like little presents, little hats, little sprinkles, little dopey dogs, little overbites and stuff. And look at this cat looking petrified. This dog is like, oh my god. But yeah, you guys wanted doggos, you're getting doggos, and you're also getting cheeky little piggy wigs. Yeah, it's just, this is a great page. If you don't follow this page, then you should follow this page. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful. Look how beautiful this cat is. Cat is beautiful than most people I know. So beautiful. Like, I love these little sand pictures and the snow pictures. I like the ones you can actually see the texture of the nose. Like, that is insane. All the textures of those snoots. Just so wholesome. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Look at his little dog. I was planning on playing some We Happy Few tonight as well, but time's getting on. But I'm gonna play it anyway, maybe for like an hour or so. So I'm gonna try and find this is actually my favorite picture on the account. I was gonna say I'm gonna try and find it. There it is. This is the best picture. This is the one that I first saw that introduced me to the Instagram page. Somebody I'm following put this as their favorite snoot of the week, and I was like, oh my god, I have to follow this page. And like every time they post a picture, I have always liked it. So yeah, this is my favorite page. Follow it. Follow it. Boop my nose. Just put boop my nose into the top of your Instagram. Follow the page. Boop all the snoots. If you're having a bad day, just scroll through, boop all those snoots. And I promise your day will get 100 times better. I'm gonna have a look at what you guys have said in the chat. Oreo, you went to a Shiba cafe in Japan. I'm so jealous. Have you got any pictures? Have you got any pictures of that? That's beautiful. Shorgy, yeah. She brought a corgi. They'd be so cute though. So cute. Quinn? What? Quinn? Go look at Nelson. Nelson? As in Nelson? Nelson? So this is a painter. Nelson. Oh look. Oh, follow. Why am I not following Quinn? Oh look at, oh my god, he's so smart. Oh my god. Ah, he likes his own photos. Changing that. Oh look. Look. Ah. I love dogs. Oh, look at this. The long boy. It's called the long boy. Okay. Okay, before we get too late, I'm gonna quickly end the stream so I can just clip this separately, but I will be back literally in a moment just to do the We Happy Few stream. I'm gonna do that for about an hour. We're just gonna do a bit of side quest, not getting too much of story so I don't get too involved with it. But just bear with me a moment and I will just set everything up ready to go so that when I come back on, it's like boom, straight on a We Happy Few. Just bear with me. 5 seconds. Well, say 5 seconds, just 1 minute. 1 minute, okay.